Hi, this is Grizz of Grizzly's Barbecue. Today we're going to do a skillet chicken on the grill. We'll be having whole fryer chicken. We're going to use a regular outdoor barbecue. Now you can use a gas grill, you can use a charcoal grill, whatever you've got on hand. We're going to use a gas grill today. And then all you need is a good old-fashioned cast iron skillet. Now, before you get started, you want to go ahead and preheat your grill, get it up as high as you can, put that cast iron skillet inside and let everything preheat as high as possible. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this fryer, and it's about a 5-pound whole fryer, and we've got to go ahead and butterfly it. So we're going to have to debone it, take the backbone out, and take the keel bone out. So in order to do that, we need to go ahead and put it down on its breast side down, with the tail end facing you. Now, first thing you do, go ahead and grab hold of the tail of the chicken. And you can feel in from front to back, you can feel that backbone going straight down from top to bottom. Get a good pair of poultry shears. You can do it with a knife, but believe me, if you've got a really good pair of poultry shears, it's a whole lot easier. We're going to take the poultry shears and we're going to start just to the right side of that tail, and we're going to go and start cutting up from the back forward all the way on up to the front. Next we're going to go just to the left of the tail, cut all the way on up. It's done. Now, once you've done that, taking the backbone out, you're going to split it on open some, and you'll be able to see the breastbone or the keel bone. This is the breastbone right in here. We're going to go ahead and turn the chicken around, get a sharp knife, and right at the top of that keel bone up here, there's a piece of cartilage. We're going to go ahead and cut right down that cartilage in there. Once we get a good cut down, we're going to take our finger and we're going to separate that keel bone from the rest of the chicken on both sides. You run your finger on down and you'll be able to separate that keel bone. Sometimes a little bit easier, other times it could be a little bit more difficult. Now once we get that keel bone separated, we pull it on out and dispose of the keel bone. Then you're going to take your shears and trim off any excess pieces of fat that may be around, especially up here towards the head. You're going to have big old pieces of fat and extra skin up here. Now once the bird's been deboned, we're going to go ahead and take it inside under running water, just kind of clean it up, get all that little bit pieces of gristle, little pieces of bone that have been left behind by the shears. Clean it all up, pat it dry with some paper towels, and bring it back on out. Okay, we're going to stop right now just a second. We've gotten the chicken all cleaned up. We've got it rinsed off, we've got it patted dry, and we're getting ready to put an oil mixture on it along with some rub, and then we'll put it on the grill. But before we do that, let me just tell you right now, anytime you're dealing with raw meats, especially chickens and all, you have to be careful about cross-contamination. You may not see it in the videos here, but I always keep disinfectant wipes on hand. I'm always going off camera quite often and sanitizing knives, washing my hands, that type of thing. We cut a lot of that out just to save some time. But you need to be sure, keep your hands washed, wash your utensils, your knives, your poultry shears, and be sure even if you're doing 2 or 3 other chickens, go ahead and clean up the work surface between. So anyway, we'll go from there. And what I'm going to do on this one, plain chicken, I'm just going to add some type of, you can take plain extra virgin olive oil and kind of smear it all over with your hands. That's going to give the surface something that for that rub or any kind of dry spices you put on there, something to adhere to. What I like to use is just an inexpensive Italian salad dressing from the grocery store. I'll just get the cheapest thing out there, just smear it all over the chicken, front and back. Believe me, there's plenty all over here. You just want to get a nice oily coat on the chicken. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and apply our dry seasoning, and I'm going to use just a standard barbecue rub on it this time, and then we're going to put it on the grill. Okay, it's now time to go ahead and apply a dry seasoning or dry rub to it if you want. You can do just salt and pepper if you'd like, whatever you want. I'm going to use a regular barbecue dry rub. Sprinkle it all over the outside of that bird. Now, once we've gotten the dry rub on, if you'll notice, I've left intact the wingtips. Wingtips are useless pieces of the bird. All they're generally going to do is they're going to end up burning before the chicken's ready. But you can take them off ahead of time, you can take them off after the fact. It's just entirely up to you. I've left them on for the time being. Now, anytime you do cast iron skillet cooking, you want to go ahead and sear the meat over the open flame to begin with. Put your hot skillet over the top of it. That creates your burn marks on both sides of the meat. Go ahead, after a few minutes, push that meat off to the side or turn off the burners up underneath the meat. That way you're going to go ahead and cook it indirectly without burning the meat. Okay, bird's all ready, the grill's all set. It's up around 650 degrees. Get you a set of good fire-resistant gloves. Either these are the UV glove. These are excellent for barbecue work. Now you can go to the hardware store and get some welding gloves. Whatever your good heavy gloves, because you're going to need them when you start handling a 600-degree cast iron skillet. Go ahead and move your skillet over. Always use an extra virgin olive oil. Spray it onto the rack. This will keep the meat from sticking to the surface. Now you've got to be careful anytime you're squeezing oil onto a hot cooking surface that you don't have flare-ups. Just be careful with that. Lower your temperature down to medium. Take your chicken, apply it to the surface of the grill. Remember to put your glove back on. Take your cast iron skillet, put it right on top of that bird, and close it up. We'll let this thing go a little bit. It takes very little time compared to barbecuing a whole chicken. What you're doing is you're heating that chicken now from the bottom and from the top. It's going to be done in half the time. Okay, let's take it off, see how it's looking. Perfect. Excellent. Let's get this thing off of here. Okay, from here, it's just a simple matter of sectioning it on out. You can take the wing, separate the leg and the thigh, the breast. There you've got 8 pieces of delicious chicken for the entire family. And all this out of a bird that costs probably about $5 at the grocery store. Another thing you can do, skin it, bone it, and take the pieces. You can make a chicken salad out of it. You can make a chicken tetrazzini out of it. You can go ahead and make all sorts of delicious dishes just with the chicken you made out of this one bird here. Now once you got it all cut up, this is pretty much what it's going to look like. I went ahead and left the thighs and the legs together. It's going to give you 2 leg quarters, 2 breasts, 2 wings. From here you can go ahead and plate it on up with a nice baked potato, a green salad, vegetables on the side, and you've got yourself a delicious meal. You want to go ahead and bone it, skin it down. You've got enough meat right here for a great chicken soup, a southwestern chicken soup like I've got on one of my other videos. You've got plenty of meat right here for several meals. And again, I appreciate you coming, and thanks for grilling with Grizz.